Okay, welcome to video number 3 of the programming part of it. In this video, the code has already achieved major functionality and all the things that we want to do. We could add more things to it if we want to, but right now I'm trying to get you to move faster and finish off the test plan because there's a whole 11 marks waiting here for you to test. And fun fact, the more functions you put in, the more things you have to test. So you don't want to go too heavy on a whole set of different functions when you already achieved a high level of functionality and you've broken it down and everything I explained in the last video, right? I'm not re-explaining that. You can just go back and watch the video, right? So what we want to do is we want to now give the program a little more style and documentation, and we want to make the output look a little neater, right? A little neater. So which is a lot of backslash ends, maybe some tabs, maybe some, I don't know, layout function, layout stuff. Style and documentation, we want to make sure that these marks are ours. So appropriate documentation for significant areas is what we're trying to create. So we're just going to run from the top to the bottom and see if there's anything that needs to be documented importantly. And once we go through all those documentation stuff and everything is documented, then we will reverse engineer the functions into the pseudocode. And then I will show you how to prove all the different things I need to prove that you did. So, include stdio.h, that's cool there. Prototyping all the functions. We don't need to say anything about that because we prototyped all of them. Prototyping is just listing out all of the functions exactly as they are, what their inputs are, what they expected to get or something like that, right? Global variables, we have that there already. They'll be used in every function, especially loops. Structure, we said the name of the structure, that's clear. Password function checks for the passcode and returns 1 for correct and 0 for wrong. Read data, this function reads the data from the input file into the array of structures. Cool, that's clear. Welcome displays the welcome message to the user. Yeah, that's all. For this week here, I'll just pass space here and I'll pass space here. And I'll put like 2 backslash ends so that it will have a little space in between. Menu, we'll put this displays the options to the user and returns the option. This menu could get a lot better because we could put more conditions to tell them if they didn't make a correct choice, but I will leave that for unit 2. So if because you don't need to, you probably might want to put an error message if they put in the wrong message. That would be a good error to catch. Yeah, alright, so we'll put in an error message inside here. When we get to the test plan part, we'll put in an error message to check for errors. Yeah. I know I could put in error message easy here. Alright, so I'll put in error message one time because testing, usually when you do the testing, you want to, should I do it now or should I do it when we actually do the testing and then we'll make up the small test. We just have to update the pseudocode as we go along. Alright, I'll leave it out for now. Because there are some simple tests that we could put in to prove that we have tests in the code. Alright, add patient to the array of structures. This is good. Function works and we have the date, do not touch. Update patient will add a record. Will change the status of a patient given the ID. Because you have to search for the ID. Right. That explains the functions there. That will call the patient ID function, yeah. Alright. Alright, search patient will get the ID and return the index it is located at. minus 1 if it does not exist. Right. Remove patient. So we're taking out the remove patient function. We'll do this in the unit 2 part because we don't really need the remove patient right now. Based on the amount of functions that we have and the functionality that we have in the program, we've achieved all our marks. And please be reminded, I don't need to tell you this, I don't know how much times I could say this, your program does not have to be perfect. If you know how to code better, go ahead and code better. But I'm doing this for people who want to just basically get their marks and get this stuff done because they're struggling with their code and they need this. If you know how to code better, then well, you don't have to watch this video. It's cool, no problem. You go and make your program, put your remove patient, put all kind of things, use binary files, do whatever you feel like doing. That's alright. But this is a simple one, and I'm trying to make sure that people can get 60 out of 60. That's the goal of the video, right? So let's return -1. Print patient info to the screen. This will print patient info to the screen given an index is sent to it. Right, all these explanations are to show that you know what your function is doing and you didn't just copy and paste a function from somewhere on the internet, throw it inside there, and you have no idea what you're doing. All these comments, they let the examiner know you actually know what your code is doing. Alright, print critical updates. Print critical updates writes the name of the patient to an intensive care file. Yeah, put that there. Yeah, cool. Update patient's file will rewrite the patient's file after all changes have been made. Now, the reason we don't have an update patient's file is because we only update the patient's file at the end of the program. Probably in the Unit 2 version of it, we could software engineer to make it all better, where people could choose what they want to do if they want to update the file one time. That's up to you, not up to me. Go down. I have menu function there, but I had the menu further up, didn't I? Yeah, menu there. Alright, so this menu, this comment here. I probably was planning to put the menu function at the bottom here, but we're not putting it there anymore. Alright, so we take out that. Cool. Main function where all the choices are made and logic. Choices and logic is contained. I'll change it to where choices and logic are contained. Alright, these are the variables used in the main. Welcome, so we call the function while, yeah. Okay, so what I want to do is I'm going to take out these printfs that are just there for saying which option was chosen, because we don't need to do that anymore. The only reason I was doing this is because this was supposed to guide us while we were coding to know that option 1, option 2, option 3 working. So we could update patient status. Yeah, all of these things are saying the option was chosen. We proved that they're working already. All of them working, so we don't need to print that out. Option 4. Wait, option 4 was supposed to be the option 4 was supposed to be the function to remove a record. What can I do instead of that? I won't do anything. I'll just take it out. So now we'll only have 5 options in the program. So we're taking out option 4. No. Line up, I said. Right. Okay, cool. So if option is equal to 4, we'll do that. So we're changing options, so we're only going up to option 5 and 0. So I have to go and fix any menu. Any menu, we have to take out remove patient for 4. Take out that, and we change this to 4 and 5. 4 and 5. Right, good. So the remove patient is gone. We have up to option 0. It's a good thing I see that. This is why I should go over your code, because you will bounce up things like that. Right, so we're still going to the main. So the main is going to, right, print user not found. This is option 3. Option 4 is going to, we don't want to say that we chose option 4. We're taking out all of these. It goes back in after it. Alright, just start back in. Now we have option 5. Option 5 is what's chosen. Okay, and option menu. Menu will call back the menu before it's done. Alright, so I'm going to put a comment here because I want to prove that I understand this function updates the patient's file when the program, when the program has ended. I will do the update patients, and then it'll say thank you for using the program. Cool. The thank you for using the program, I'll put 2 \ns so that this will stand by itself whenever it says it. Is there anything else that I haven't separated by a line? Anything that's been said that I didn't put another line for? Please enter the correct code. Yeah. And that goes to \n. Anything else that is printed? The critical patient file is ready to print. Alright, that says that. Name %s \n. Alright, good. All I'm doing is checking to make sure that I have \n. Please enter the status update you want to make. So I'll put a colon here. And \n, so that will go to a new line. Plus when it starts, it'll go to a new line. Normally I put \n at the start of everything, because it's make life easier to understand. Right. Alright, so let's run it and see if we get anything that's jumbled up. It should look a little clearer or neater now. Welcome to the hospital week here, enter the code. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, so the file is ready. First ID is 78 and the last is 122. I don't want to see that again. I should take that out. We're now read the data. Read data. Where is that? Oh, look at it. Printf. So I've taken out this check because that check, I don't need it anymore because my code is working. Okay, let's run again. See what happens. 1, 1, 1, 1. Enter. Okay, here are the menu options. Add patient. Okay, I should put 0 as exit, but that's okay. Alright, so let's see if I could add a patient. To add a patient, please enter the patient. Please enter the new patient information. Notice there is no colon or anything after there. I don't want to do that. I want that to be a little neater. So let's fix the add patient function. Add patient, please enter the new patient information. I'll put a colon, a \n, and I will put ID. No, all I'm doing is scanning. Yeah, alright, so I'm gonna put some printfs in between here so that it will know, so I'll know exactly what I'm putting in. Because it's looking ugly, I'm just assuming that the user know what to put in, but that's not making sense. Printf. ID, colon. Right, that's 1. And then I put in printfs in between all of them. ID. Printf ID, then first name. First name, surname. age, and status. Each one of them should go on a different line every time I press enter. So let's try it and see. Add patient. Okay, 1 is the passcode. Add patient 1. Please enter the ID. Alright, so I'll put in ID 999. First name Bob. Second name Slim. Sponge. No. Shelly. Bob. Age 55. Status 1. Alright, so it says the first ID is 78 and the last ID is 999. I don't want that to come up because that was a test statement. So let's stop now and go and fix that. So as soon as I put in a patient ID, oh, look, it's saying it here. The first ID was this and that. So instead of saying all of this, I'll just be like, the patient with ID, the patient with ID, whatever has been added. Right, so I'll take all that. Come on. Right. Okay, let's try that now. That should make it better. What did I do? Oh, our quotation mark there. Nice. There you see. All right, enter the Puerto Rico 1, 2, 3, 4. Add patient. 777 7. Bob. Shelly. 44. Status is 1. The patient with ID 777 has been added. Okay, cool. Would the file be updated yet? No, the file won't be updated yet because we don't have printed to the file yet. Okay. All right, so we continue now. Now let's say I want to update that patient. No, wait. Patient ID 777 has been added. I should put 2 \ns after that. Has been added. Okay. This is a little tedious, but this just makes sure that you put some effort into your code now. Yeah, so I'll put the patient with ID, blah, blah, has been added, and I'll print it out. Okay. All right, yeah, that makes sense. That looking a little more logical. So there you go again. Yes, it's boring, I understand, but you need to do it because it's your code and you need to double check your code. Add patient. One. I could put a prompt there to be like enter your number. No. 8888. Bobby. Shelly. 55. Status is 1. The patient ID 888 has been added. Cool. Now let's see if I could go to function number 2. Update patient. Please enter the patient you want to update. I'm going to update 8888 one time because I put the wrong status. Update 88. Enter the status update. I'm going to put it as 2. Bobby Shelly. His status is now changed to 2. When his status changed to 2, I have to put a \n inside there. So let me I'll put in the code one time while it's still running. All printing out, boy. Oh, that's the print patient function. Print info. Yeah. Should put a \n at the end of this here. Okay, cool. All right, when we recompile, that should fix our problem. Good. All right, so now we're back here. That works. Now let me try to search for patients. I search for patient number 3. Yeah, the one to search for is 8888. That should give me patient was found at location 11. Great. print the patient record. So I'm going to print 4. What's the record I want to display? 8888. Display the record. Right, this will fix because I put a \n. That will solve that problem. And then I want to print the critical patient staff file, so I'll press 5. The critical file is ready to print. Need to put a \n there. Critical patients file is ready to print. Where is the critical patients file? Here, function. On other IDs, you could like find the functions at the end, but I don't know why this one. Probably have a way to do it, huh? I don't know. My intensive care. The critical patient file is ready to print. 2 \n's to make life easier. Okay. Alright, and then press 0 to exit. I should go to the patient's file and see that we have Bobby Shelley, patient 888865. Only problem is I have this space at the top here, but I'm okay with that space being there because the space not affecting the file being read. It's just like, that's just an empty space. So look at the first value that's located there. That's not a problem. That's because I have a \n on the printout. I could fix it by putting the \n at the end, and then I'll have an empty line at the bottom. But I'd rather have an empty line at the top than at the bottom, because with the empty line at the bottom, the next print might go to the next line if I don't do it properly. So we'll live with that for now. So let's see if I neaten it up good enough to make sense. So let's go. Please enter the 4-digit passcode. 111. Add a patient. 7777. First name Jenny. Last name Smith. Age 55. Status 4. No, status had to be 2. And then our patient was added to update patient, or the patient I want to update 7777. Enter the status update you want to make. I'm going to change the status to 1 because they're not good. They're good. And here are the menu options. Search for patient 233 7777. There you find the patient. They located at location 12. Okay, cool. That's search for patient. I will print the patient record to the screen, which will be 4 7777. It prints out the information for that patient. Cool. And then when I choose 5, it will print the critical patients to the file. I press 0 to exit. Let's see. Intensive care, right? Those are all the names there. Patient's file, all the people that are added, they're still there. All right, good. So our code is fairly neater, like it's neater, meaning that everything is not jumbled up. The only part is the patient was found on location 12, that's still jumbled up. So I'll just put a \n to fix that. Search for patients. Patient was found. Oh no, that's in the main. That's in the main here. Patient ID was found at location different. \n. Nice. Okay, good. So we are in a good place there. Sorry to interrupt the video, but this is future me talking to you while you're watching this. And if you are struggling with a certain part of your IA, or you just need some way to check over your IA, we do personal one-on-one IA classes. So if you want your IA to get a check over, just to make sure you have all the requirements on the marks, makeITsimpleTT.com/register. Okay, cool. Back to the video. Alright, so now what do? We have basic functionality, things that working. We had to get the test plan done, but before we jump to the test plan, is a very important thing that we have to do. we have to get these functions to match back up to the algorithm the way that we laid it out. So in the pseudocode, so far we have the password, the structure declaration, password function, and then read data, then welcome screen. Let's see if we have that same thing here. Declaration of function. We have global variables. Do we put global variables? Did I put the global variables? Are the global variables? Yes, they are at the top. Yeah. So global variables, structure, password. Do I have that? Global variables, structure, password. Good. Then we're supposed to have read data and welcome. Then we have read data, right? And then welcome screen. Okay. Good. Then our next function after welcome should be menu. So I'm going to have to take the menu from down here, because this is where I had it initially. According to the program, menu is supposed to be on top. Menu, so stop. Menu, nice. Okay, so after menu and the code, our first function is add patient. Alright, so I'm going to show you a little trick. That may or may not work for you. So we're going to copy the exact code, right? And we're going to put it here. Add patient, right? But we're going to copy the exact code, and then now we have to refactor this whole thing here to look like pseudocode. So it's going to take a while for you to do it. And yeah, we're going to fast forward this video real fast while I do all these functions to refactor them. So I'm going to do one for you, and I'm going to show you how to refactor every single one of them, because it ain't easy. It ain't easy. Alright, there you go. The name of this function is going to be called, so we're taking this concept here, which is function inputs output variables. We're replacing that with the function declaration. So the function declaration will have function name, add patient. Inputs, none. Output, none. Alright, let's semicolon there. Variables. Do we have any variables? No, we have no variables. None. Right. So we don't have any variables. Now we have printf, 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 printf. So what I want to do is I want to highlight this and press Ctrl H, which will find and replace. And it will find the word printf and replace it with print. And I'll just press replace all. Oh no! Don't do that. Undo, undo, undo. Undo. Okay, yeah. So I want to go from this point here and do Ctrl H and replace printf with print. Right. And then I just want to replace each one by one. So replace, 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 replace. Okay, good. So now I dealt with all of the printfs. Cool. Problem inside here is that I have examples that have printf inside of it. So that will cause some problems. Alright, so I dealt with all the printfs there. And then I want to take all the scanfs and replace it with read. So I'll do Ctrl H, look for scanf, scanf, and then replace it with read. replace, 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 replace. I wouldn't do that last one because then it will jump down to the bottom. I don't really want to jump down to the bottom, so I'll just put read. Right. And now I'm going to just take out all of the C parts in it, which is read, actual size ID, read, that. Take out all the C stuff now, just the %D and the %F. Nice. Right. And this one here, I'm going to print the patient has been added. So that in. How did I do the other prints? I just have prints and I have the wooden quotes, so no brackets. Okay, so we're taking out the brackets and we just leave it in quotes. Because that's the standard that we use for pseudocode here. We're not putting any quotation marks. The ID has been added, and then comma, actual size, take out the semicolon and just put the quotes. Yeah. I'll have to take this variable and drop it inside here with IDP actual size ID. And I'll have to put quotes here, comma, and then open up our next set of quotes here. Or comma empty. That way it will show that the variable would be put inside the words there. Okay. Alright, so taking out this. Please don't leave a semicolon. If you leave a semicolon, they will know that you copied it from the code. You don't want them to know that you copied it from the code. Please remember that. You don't want them to know that you copied it from the code. Alright, and this is me doing this very painstakingly. As you can see, it's going to take a while. But at least you know it matches the code exactly. It would be good if you get somebody to read it over in your group. Be like, alright, let's just double check to make sure. Because I've heard that once you have anything that looks like C programming that you copied it from, they will take away marks. But I think me have realized the reason why you might need to do this is because what you do in the algorithm may seem like it making sense until you actually do it in the code and realize it's not making sense. So, right, all the reads will just be brackets. Alright, so let's see. I have print ID, that's in quotes, that's my standard. Oh no, there's backslash and I need to take out that. Yeah. Please enter any patient information, take out the semicolon. Alright, I don't need where I have the curly brackets, I'm going to put start and stop. Alright, you might see this as unnecessary, but this is what they want because they assume that everybody will go from algorithm, from pseudocode to code. Not everybody will do that. You may not do that, I didn't do it. Actual size plus plus, you have to put actual size, you got actual size plus 1. Got the plus plus, that's C programming. Did I do plus plus anywhere else? I hope not. Yeah, I did it here. I'll have to put C is equal to C plus 1. I promise you, it's boring, but you really don't want to lose a mark because you would be thinking like you were doing C programming. Okay, so that is one of them. That's one of them. Now we are going to fast forward to me doing this for every single function that we have that look like C, because I'm not going to type it over. I'm going to have to painstakingly take off every single semicolon. I mean, there's no way for me to do this easily. I could probably try to use ChatGPT, you know. Yeah, I probably could try to use ChatGPT, but all right, let's go. All right. Whoa. All right, so I just dealt with all the functions that we have, and let me just go through some of the key points with somebody when you're putting it in pseudocode, right? I try to take out as much C stuff as possible, but when you're dealing with structures, you have to put the structures. So let's go through point one. If you want to print print something and you have to print a variable, normally just put the words that you want to come up on the screen in quotes, and then a comma, and whatever the variable name is, you put that after. That fixes, that's that. So you'll notice I'll have the quotes here, that will end up on the screen, and then the variable that will come after will end up like there. Then when you want to open a file, just put open in the name of the file in whatever mode. And when you want to close the file, just put close intensivecare.txt. If you have to do the for loop, you're going for C is 1 to actual size, and not putting C is equal to 0, C less than whatever C++, because that's a for loop in C. You want to make sure that you pay attention to that. So for C is equal to 1 to actual size too. All right. When you do the returns, make sure you take out the semicolons. And then just do a general sweep after to make sure that you take out all of the semicolons and all of the things that look like C code. You can't do much about how our structure is built, because our structure will just look like it all the time. It's actually an array, so no issues there. And yeah, I think all the functions are in, and we have clearly laid them out to the format: function name, input, output, and the variables that you plan to use. Yeah. Yeah. Something wrong here. The indentation of it. Yeah, right. So that indentation is standard there now. We should be good. I don't know how much marks they take out as they go along. If they look for like 3 mistakes before they take out a mark, if they look for 5 mistakes before they take out a mark. But just aim to have no mistakes. That'll save your life a lot. Yeah. Cool. Alright, now the main, we switched up the main a lot. I think we put the wrong password check inside of the password function, did we? So the main is, yeah, we just call any password alone. Oh no, we do have the while passcode is incorrect. Please enter correct code. Please equal to password. So we do have that there. Yeah, so that's good. All right. Read data. Do we have the read data? Yes, we have read data line 206. Then we're supposed to have option equal to menu. All option is not equal to 0. Be very, very, very careful when you're doing not equal to. Make sure you put the less than sign and the greater than sign. And then start if option is equal to 1, option right, good. So now let's put in all of the logic that we have inside here. So when we call the add function, what are we doing? All we're doing is calling add patient, so that's good. Add patient. Done. Next function is to call the update patient status. So we just go and put in update patient status. Right. And now for option 3, we have a lot of things to do because this is the switch. So yeah, we have plenty things to copy inside here. So I'll go and copy all of this. Option 3 has a lot of logic. Option 3. Ooh, it's not pretty. Start, print, enter the ID you want to search for. We read that. And then we scan. We'll put read the search value. Read search. And then read the search, and then index is equal to search patient search, right? Take out the semicolon there. If index is equal to -1, print the record was found. No, code stay in there. Else printf the patient was found at location. Take off all this. And we just put comma index. Right. Oh, that was easier than I expected. I need to put end if here. Yeah. Did I put N4s? I was supposed to put in N4s, you know. Or I'll put start and stop. Alright, so instead of putting start and stop, I'll put for and end for. Yeah, that's more consistent with pseudocode. Ooh, I left curly brackets here, you see? Wow. And for. Do you have any more for loops to deal with? Nope. Nope. Alright, that's cool. Alright, so back to the main. We updated the main with that. Alright, so option 4. Alright, we took out option 4. So we'll just go with option 4 and 5. So there's no option 4 anymore. Option 5, right, so option 4 should be easy. These are just calling functions and printing something. Calling back the same functions you put in now. And there's more marks for you here because you show like a great detail of function calls and stuff. And you call a function within a function and get the value and send it back. All of that carrying up your points. So that's print, enter the patient ID you'd like to display. Alright. Cool. Scan F. Search. We don't want to put print up. We just want to put print. We want to put read. When we're done, we'll do a search for like certain words that we might have missed. Read, search, semicolon, take off the semicolon here, take off the semicolon there. Alright. Option 4. Option 5 is really simple, just pull the intensive care file. So, intensive care file. Open brackets, close brackets. Nice! And we are good. Option menu, call the update function, which is update patients, call exit program message, exit program. Do I have an exit program message? No, we just have thank you for using the program. So we'll print thank you for using the program. Print thank you for using the program. Nice. All right, that is our pseudocode there. That matches our code exactly because we just went through line by line. The only changes we have to come back and make to the pseudocode is when we do the error testing. We will have to put in some small error tests as we go along. But the small error tests, we're going to add it back to the code. But the reason I'm not trying to pull the error testing inside right now is because I want to show you certain things that you should test in order to get your marks. Because you don't have to test every single thing, but you want to test certain functions for functionality and those sort of things, and certain things that you should test, like return values and that. But when we get to the testing video, we'll talk about that. For now, let's try to make sure you secure the bag with your marks, right? We're trying to secure the bag. So comments are must include justification, file structure, we'll put in all that. We want to get to the code section now, code in our program, right? So for code in our program, these are just my let's call that over there, my anecdotes. What we have to do now is we have to paste all this code in. Now there's an extension in Google Docs called code blocks, right? If you search for the code blocks extension, you can go and find it. And when you open it up, it basically gives you a panel on your right hand side to paste your code in. So I'm going to select all the code, Control A, Control C, and then I'm going to paste the code in on this side here. And it'll ask you what type of language it is, and we're going to choose the language. Let me zoom in a little bit so you can see. Right, it will ask you which language you plan to use, and it's telling me using C. Yes, a lot of languages, but wow. Where is C? Where normal C is? It's very weird. They don't have C. Anyhow, any language I use should figure it out. I like for CPP. Right, CPP, C++. The theme, you could leave it as Android Studio if you want. That'll just give you a dark theme. So I'm going to put it, basically going to paste it in here. So we're going to basically paste everything in here. Control V, and it will paste the code like that. But you don't want it to look like this because some of your indentations might get thrown off and some of the things may not be laid out and all kind of stuff can happen, and you don't want your indentation and stuff to get messed up. So I'm just going to select everything and then I'm going to format the code like that, and it will give you it'll format your code and it will give you these kind of colors and layout and whatnot. But then if you want to, you could go and change it to whatever you want after. You could leave it like this, or you could change it to dark mode, and if you change it to dark mode, life will be easier. So if I select all the code and change it from Android Studio to something keep dark, and I change it to a dark mode font, it'll put a black background. Choose, yeah, when you choose no background, it will give you the dark mode for it. So uncheck no background, and then it'll give you the dark mode, and then all your code will be inside here. And the good thing is all the code is editable as text. So if you want to make a very, very quick change, but you don't want to go and do it in the actual code, you could do it right here. And all the code exactly as it is from your IDE should be right there. Now, I don't recommend you change the code inside here much because, well, technically speaking, the examiners don't open your code up. Like, you have to submit exe, you have to submit your C file and all kind of thing, but I don't think that is check it. So, it really I'm much to worry about. The only problem that I might have here is that the code might run into the next line depending on how much indentation get done. and it might look a little uglier than it looked in your IDE, because they don't have as much space on the page here due to the font size that they use. So if you want, you could change the font size for it to make sense, or you could just leave it like that. Just remember, it's easier for an examiner to read. So try to keep your print statements very short. Some print statements are very long. Please enter the patient ID you would like to update. That won't fit. Let me see something that didn't fit. Anything we went over to the next line and it's looking wonky. This printf, enter the patient ID you would like to search for. Yeah. So if you want to take a change, just to be like, please enter patient ID. Create out of all those words. So you could just put, instead of putting please enter you want to search for, just be like, please enter patient ID. Enter patient ID, colon. That is going to deal with the overflow. Enter the ID you'd like to display. Yeah, so I'll take that out and just put enter the ID you'd like to display. Yeah. Patient was found at location. Patient found. Alright, we could take off the word was. Patient found at location. Yeah, right. That's the deal with the overflow, right? Either that or you could change the font size. If you change the font size, that's okay too. You could do that, no issues. So I could just take all this code here, copy it back inside the ID and do the same thing, right? So now I have the code inside here. All I want to do now is to prove that I have done a set of things that they asked for. So I give examples here to be like, okay, every function should have a description, all that kind of stuff. So you see how here this function will get the array and size and search value and return the location if you see that ID matches if it's what's being searched for. You could do the comments as detailed as you want, right? For the example that I am going to do, I am going to just copy, I'm just going to show one function where, okay, this function here will write to the file, right? I'm just proving to the examiner that I put comments. They are supposed to go through your code and find it and see it. But you want to remove all doubt and just be like, hey, what happened there? Yeah, I just want to be able to put it up here like, okay, I did that properly. Right. So you could put a picture like that and you could say the code above, oh no, clear the format on there. The code above shows that comments, that a detailed comment was placed for this function. And if you want to kill it, you'll be like, detailed comments can be found on lines, and you could go and start to list out all the lines that the comments are at, and it'd be like, all right, I have comments on line this, line that, and whatnot. But ideally, the examiner is supposed to go through your code and see this and be like, all right, that child getting marks. The comments there, look at next comment there, look at next comment here, and next comment there. But remember, you're trying to fight for your marks, so you could go and be very difficult for it if you want. And you could list out all the line numbers and be like line 45, line 23, and blah, blah, blah. Just to show you know where your comments are. But I don't think that's absolutely necessary because the comments are there. So if you could put one or two print screens to show that, remember this is the example one here. This one here, on power space here. put, I'm just making sure that it's in red so people understand. Put comments, put some sort of explanation showing that you knew where you put the detail. Alright, they probably hear my daughter making noise, eh? Yeah, that's because she talks. She's talking real loud. Nice. Okay. Put some sort of explanation. Yeah. Put some. Right. So this is what you would do. Okay, so I put that in. Code lines, I put algorithm. You can't really do anything besides that. All you could do is say, just put in words the algorithm, the pseudocode. Matches the sequence of the program. The only thing we didn't do is prototype the functions, but you can't prototype functions in pseudocode because prototyping the functions is a C-based kind of thing. Comments, the files used, so wherever the file is open, you want to clearly show that you opened the file properly. So you could go back into the code and find the lines where the code was, but where the files are open. So we open up our file here. So you just want to put a statement and say files used. So I will take that and I'll go. Where did I put it? Yeah, I'm going to put files used as follows. And then you go show. Wow, I use a file there. And then I use a file in read mode here. Where is it? I use a file in read mode here. Welcome to patience. We care menu options. Open a file in read mode. Where is it? Where read data? Or read data is here. Right, so I want to prove that I open up this file in read mode. Again, the reason you're doing this is to remove all doubt for the examiner. So even if they didn't see it the first time, you put that there for them. And then the only other one is the intensive care patients file. I want to prove that I open up the intensive care file. A file called intensive care. Yeah, right. So I'll copy in this. Alright, so those are the three files that I wrote to and read from. So I'll put that in, normal. Because, again, you don't want this examiner to tell you anything. Okay, cool. So comment the files used, ensure that there are comments wherever a file is open, stating clearly while the file is open or the mode you choose. See example above. So, I didn't put an example above. Take that out. But inside the code, you want to go and put in you'll probably put like pause as well as file opened in write mode. And yeah, so inside the code, go back and find the files and put that they open in write mode and read mode, just to remove all doubt. Opened in write mode and then find the next one and put open in read mode. Alright, proving I know what read mode and write mode is. Alright, so you put that in. All of that is marks that you're looking for, and once you have those clearly, it should be okay. And then you could go back to, let's go back to the syllabus and show that, okay, structure decomposition of functions, we have that because we have 10 functions inside here, and each one of them doing something different. It's not like you're repeating the same type of tasks for each function. The goal is to make sure you do different types of tasks. And then demonstration of the concept of structured programming. We have loops all over, we have whiles, we have fors, we have all sorts of stuff. Now there is no way that we could put a heading called demonstration of the concept of structured programming, because we will have to repeat a lot of the code that we have. They should be able to look through it and see like you have a lot of fors and whiles and whatnot and give you the marks. Appropriate programming style and documentation. You can't prove that, they have to look through your code. Evidence that code matches the algorithm, the sequencing of the algorithm, you just have to prove that. But I put it in to see that it matches the algorithm exactly, just to put any words like yeah, it did. Evidence of file manipulation, you show the files, and you show the files and show that they were used properly, and yeah. Because we already explained that we're using text files and stuff in the algorithm before, description of the file inputs and outputs, we've done that before. So that's just the code. So all that's left for us to do now will be the testing and presentation. Testing and presentation is going to take us along the road of creating a test plan, and we'll probably put in some simple if statements or some simple while statements to show that we tested things properly, and we'll put them into a table to test them, kind of like this. Yeah. And we'll show that the test pass or fail, just because we're testing for functionality to make sure it's working. So first of all our tests should test each function for correct values and see if they work. And then we'll be like, cool, that works. Then we will test to see if we enter the password wrong, test to see if you read from an empty file, test to see if you put in a wrong search value, if you'll get back an error message, all those different things. We'll create some tests, because the testing and presentation is, the test plan is 3 marks. Meaning you must have a solid test plan with a exhaustive data set. Exhaustive data set means you have to look for erroneous input, and then you must also check for, what is supposed to check for, where? Correct results, wrong results, normal results, right? Normal results, which means it's doing what it's supposed to do. Extreme input, so you have to check for extreme input. Then you have to check for wrong input. So if you put in your wrong input, do you get an answer? So we've proven each one of these. So we'll have a heading for normal input. We'll show all the normal input. We'll put a heading for extreme input. We'll show all the extreme inputs in our table. And then we have erroneous input. If they put in the wrong thing, we'll test for that too. Incomplete input, we test for those. So we're testing for 4 things basically. But the data set that we have to choose must be wide enough. The test plan is a little tricky because how you test fit is very difficult, but the way I laid it out, I'm trying to do it be as robust as possible. And then technical documentation, we'll probably do that at the end of the test plan. So that is the bulk of the IA there, the algorithm, which is the pseudocode, and then the coding of the program. If you could get to this part here, you make most of your money. Test plan is where people usually lose most of their marks, because after all of this, you get real tired and you don't test it properly. But we're going to spend some time and make sure we test it properly. So far, we are almost there. We probably have 50 marks at least. No, you don't have 50 yet, because there's a whole 16 marks that we still have to work for. You probably have half the marks so far. It's real where that testing and documentation is a whole 16 marks. Testing and documentation is almost the same amount of marks as the code itself. So, yeah. Next video will be on testing and documentation. We'll put that in and call All that up there. And we'll see how that goes. Alright, so remember, if you watch this video and you don't understand some of the things, you may need to go back to the algorithm, because in the algorithm I explained a lot of the reasoning for stuff. If you could watch this and you could follow through on everything that's taking place. Most of this here was just formatting stuff. So previous videos is where we did all the thinking and the logic for what is taking place, for the formatting and laying it out and putting it inside the document. That's where you explain to the examiner that I want your marks, right? So playlist description should be in the description of the video, and yeah, all the other things that you need. It's in the Learn IT app, learn it, or learn IT, or learn it, whichever you want to call it. You can check that out, and you will see all sorts of other resources, all sorts of different things, and you might even see this PDF inside for you to follow through. And you could also join the classes and do past paper questions with us if you realize there's so much things inside here that you didn't know existed, and you realize I happen to explain it better than you ever seen before. Then you might just want to see what the classes are like, because they could definitely help you out. Okay, so I'll see you all in the next video.